in San Francisco, where there's a conference on reparations and community organizing. I have two gentlemen with me who are here from Chicago, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves and talk a little bit about who they are, why they're here, and what they expect to see come out of this conference.
Well, basically, this is the main concept right here that we've been pushing. We spoke this whole concept: give a million men $1 million to leave. So our whole concept for reparations is to sign Thomas Jefferson's bill into proposals. Thomas Jefferson indicated that anytime black folks feel like they wanted to get reparations, that all they would have to do is that the United States government would arm them and would give them whatever necessary tools it took in order for them to become a strong nation.
Let me ask this. What's your name and the name of your organization?
Well, my name is Hoshua Amariel. This is
Eri Abdiel from the Israelite Organization of Unity from Chicago. From Chicago.
The Israelite Organization of Unity. And we represent more than 1 million Israelites from here to Chicago, to New York, and in Israel. So and right now, basically, our main agenda is that we could take advantage of the reparations issue in order to start rebuilding the nation as a whole. We understand, and this is our proposal that we put forth at the city council, on the city council floor, that was a part of the city council package that was sent to D.C. Also, we attended the various different reparations conference. What was the conference?
Psychological effects of slavery, and all the psychologists came together in Chicago to deal with how should reparations be dealt with, even with people that have psychological problems, as in the white man entitlement syndrome and the post-traumatic slavery syndrome.
Let me ask you this. Okay. You're saying your plan is to develop a situation where you're saying 1 million black men, if they want to leave this country, would get $1 million.
Exactly.
Do you have a place in mind, or is this anywhere they want to go in the world, or what is that?
Well, again, based upon what Thomas Jefferson proposed or indicated, he said that when we leave, we would be able to leave armed. So it's only very few people or few countries that will receive a nation of black men armed on the west coast of Africa, and that would be either Sierra Leone or Liberia. Liberia itself was a country that was a gateway to Africa that was established exactly for our people. And at this point, the brothers that did leave here 100 years ago are under attack, and they're now being slaughtered because they did what we have not yet did, and that's try to go back home and reestablish a foothold in that land. And since they've been there, we have forgotten them. And we have left them there without any support, without any aid, without any backing. So at this point, since the reparation issues have come up, and now since we have gotten to the point where we want to take up the United States government on their proposed issue, that if we were man enough, that if we really wanted some type of form of reparations, that they would send us back home, and that they would rebuild our homeland, and they would arm us, and that they would give us subsidies until we became a strong nation, then I'm going to take them up on that. See, the fact is that when I got to be a man, my father said to me, or I said to my father, I said, I don't think you're running the house quite well here, Dad. And my father said to me, well, it's time for you to leave. If you think you done got to the point where you think I'm not paying the bills right and I'm not doing right, it's time for you to leave. So right now, at this point in the stage of the game, we're not boys anymore. We're dealing with world issues in the United States, and we're stepping on their toes everywhere we go. Even lately, they indicated that if they had a reparations conference in South Africa, that they were going to pull back their subsidies from South Africa. Well, we're going to attend that conference. And again, we're stepping on their toes. We are a nation within a nation. So at this point, it's time for us to be grown men and take on the struggle to rebuild the East. Because just as we rebuild the West, we came over here, we built everything in this country. Now it's time for us to go home and rebuild the East. It's time for us to be the pioneers that go back home and stop trying to build the masses home. Go back home with this reparations money and with subsidies. Now let me make this quite clear. we're saying, clearly we're saying that we want each individual person to receive $1 million that would leave the country. But we also, the brothers that do not want to leave, because we feel the United States, this country is a breadbasket. And we don't ever feel like we should, that everybody should leave. But we do feel that we should, the brothers that do want to go, that they should receive $1 million in their hand. Now, the rest of the brothers that want to stay here, they should receive, as this proposal go off into, they should receive tax levies, they should receive some form of educational grants, benefits, everything that the brothers want them to receive, and the political party here want them to receive, as to be able to further them in their educational background. But not all of us want education. Some of us want land, and some of us want something that they don't want black people to have, and that's black power. And the only way you're going to receive any power is in your own land, with your own army, with your own means of protecting yourself, and with your own breadbasket, with your own wealth. So we're proposing that you give each black person $1 million in their hand, which is nothing. But also, Jefferson indicated that they would give us subsidies until we became a strong nation. So we want the president now that came in, President, what's his name, Bush? Huh? What's his name? Is it Bush? Okay, I get mixed up. We want President Bush, because Bush came into office the same way Jefferson came into office. So we want him, because he can identify with Jefferson. He identified his presidency with Thomas Jefferson. So we want the modern-day Thomas Jefferson to sign the old Thomas Jefferson's bill into law,